The National Assembly has again been reminded of the need to enact laws that will protect vulnerable persons in the society against gender-based and other forms of violence. Worried by the prevalent rate of such violence, a group calling itself the Clean Foundation is commemorating the 16 days of gender activism on the 2017 International Day for the elimination of violence against women and girls, in collaboration with the Proactive Gender Initiatives. Gloria Ikiba has the rest.
Many groups, personalities, and organizations have consistently called for stringent law to be enacted to punish perpetrators of gender-based violence. The International Day is set aside to highlight the plight of women and girls facing various forms of gender-based violence and the need to increase efforts to end all forms of human rights abuses against vulnerable persons.
In Nigeria, the need to broaden the scope and the debate on addressing gender-based violence from a focus on women and girls to include men and boys finds evidence in the rising wave of domestic violence targeted at men. The society's expectation and gender construction of masculinity makes the discourse more complicated, as men and boys are expected to be strong, even in the face of abuse.
It is important to note that these evolving gender violence trends are not unconnected to the prevalent socio-political and economic realities in our country today. The campaign against GBV is a progressive one, and from the trends, it is obvious that GBV has metamorphosed over the years,
with different cases of violence against children, and most recently the alleged extreme brutality and human rights violation of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigeria Police Force targeted against successful young men. It may be relevant to note that gender-based violence has metamorphosed over the years, and addressing it has become a necessity.
For instance, now there is a new trend of violence targeted against successful young boys by the SARS.
That's right.
It's also gender-based violence.
That's right.
And who are they targeting? Successful young boys. I mean, not all successful young people are criminals.
That's correct.
There are successful young doctors, successful young lawyers.
We witnessed gory and heartbreaking forms of gender-based violence, ranging from rape of a 6-month-old baby in Kano State, gross violation of underage children by policemen in Nasarawa, particularly a policeman violating a young, small boy.
The global action against gender-based violence usually begins 16 days starting from November 25, with the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls, to December 10, the International Human Rights Day, to highlight the plight of women and girls facing various forms of gender-based violence. It is a call on justice and security institutions to provide more protective and institute preventive laws to protect persons vulnerable to violence while guaranteeing friendly and accessible means of documenting reports from survivors. Gloria Ikiba, Core TV News, Abuja.